Welcome to another video for honestgamesreviews.com. This is Steel Shocks with a walkthrough of the new multiplayer maps for Call of Duty Ghosts in the Devastation DLC. We have, first of all, Collision, which is a cargo ship which has crashed into a New York bridge, giving you a new playground to get involved in. As you can see, lots of damaged buildings, cargo containers strewn across the deck. And the good thing about this level is you've got a nice mix of short range firefight areas and also raised areas which give you a good long line of sight over the two main open spots in the level. So those of you who favour the camping option will have a nice view of anybody trying to sneak around those corners for you. You can provide overwatch there. This is one of the raised sections here with the bridge. It's very open. You can get taken out on either side. Be very careful there. Safety first, guys. As you can see, just having a wander around the map here, it's got a lot of tricky spaces that people can come from multiple avenues leading into the central location of the map. This is the lower level of the map. You've got two parallel tunnels here, stairways coming off of them, which offer, again, give it a little bit of verticality in the level. It seems like they've really tried to pack as much as they can into this small to medium sized level. The open areas here, very bare. You're going to have to make quick dashes from corner to corner if you're going to get across that spaces alive. Best of luck to you, to be honest, because it's the times that I've been playing it, well, I haven't fared too well. This is the other end of the corridor that you saw me walking down a moment ago. The two parallel corridors left and right there. Again, you've got the fire there in the corner, which obscures your vision for anybody coming in that doorway. Be careful. A very good map if you're planting your IEDs. There's so much rubble going around the whole map that you could easily hide them in there. But all in all, an enjoyable map. Now this is the map that a lot of people have been talking about. This is Ruins, set in a old jungle, middle of the jungle, sort of David Attenborough type. Or is it Richard Attenborough? I don't know. But right in the centre you've got an Incan temple, which comes out of the earth here, stands very proud in the centre of the map. Now if you look down this hole here, this gives you a wee pretense to what's coming up. If any of you are familiar with the 80s movie The Predator, you'll remember that's how Arnie killed the Predator, going down a small cave system like that and dropping a big tree on it. Yay! Now, the temple itself here, lots of ledges, lots of corridors, lots of stairways in and out of it. Very, 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 very good fun. I would say this is a medium to large size map. Just on the amount of areas that you can get to go in this map. There's a whole cliff front you can get round. You've got the lower levels under the waterfalls. You've got the cave system. Then, as I say, you've got these ledges up here, which offer a great point of view over the central location on the map. Very nice spot to be in. I did have a good wander around this map once or twice just to get the feel of it, and overall, quite an enjoyable map. There's a lot of locations that people are going to find that they're going to sort of hole up in if you're that type of player, but also for the run and gunners, you're going to enjoy this map. Use those tight corridors, use those tight spaces to get your SMGs out. Perfect map for this. As you can see here, hole in the wall, it's a tunnel leading under the temple. There's lots and lots of them, just to give you that varied gameplay. And a little side note, if you walk in here, up on the wall there, just a little hint of things to come. The Predator mask, as well as a few of their trophies. Not at all unnerving in the slightest. So we have a wee wander around here just to check what else is lying about. You never know what you might find. And the one thing that I did notice when I came back out was this large statue here. Now, that's possibly the biggest giveaway, but fantastic. If you do get a chance to be the Predator, you will enjoy it immensely. This is one of the paths that leads down by the cliffside, goes into these small sort of annex or alcoves that have been structured out of the stone. Again, map is littered with these little locations. Strange little bug things in the corner. I needed to look at it. I didn't know if it was a facehugger, if they were going to tie in some of the alien scene, but who knows. Maybe the next DLC we might see something of that. Again, under the tunnel here, we've got lots of long line of sights here, which is quite nice. So if you're one of those assault rifle kind of players, perfect spot for you. Let's see here. This leads us up into the top centre part of the map underneath the Incan Temple. And obviously you've got the crashed helicopter. There'll be lots and lots of Arnie impressions, I would imagine, at this stage. So better work on that, better practice on it. I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying it now. I'm already doing that by letting you hear what I sound like. So nice long corridor there. And the volcano in the background, which does, on occasion, erupt and pretty much bombards the level with molten rocks. Fantastic. Now, I did have a look at these structures here. I didn't know how vertical this map was, so I decided to check it out. I thought you could go up those structures there, but you can't. So went up the back door here just to see where I could get to. And as you can see, just leads you back to sort of round in a loop. But overall, a large map, good fun, very interesting to play, and the Predator, best thing you've ever seen. Now, this is Bemoth. Or Bemoth? How would you pronounce it? That's how I pronounce it. I'm from the north of Scotland, so you'll have to forgive me. This has always been built as a very thin map, but it does offer these control rooms at either end of the map and in the centre of the map, which gives you a great vantage point over some of the side walkways, as you can see here. A lot of people are going to be using these walkways as flanking manoeuvres, trying to get round the side of other teams. I don't know how domination is going to work on this map. That's just going to be carnage. But for team deathmatch or even capture the flag, I think that's going to be a really interesting map to use. I can see this being a lot of short firefights, a lot of people just getting gunned down minute after minute. A thoroughly enjoyable map. I decided to check the underneath here just to see how the access works, because everybody knows on a map like this, or even on the old maps of the old Call of Duty series, you've got the cargo ships, you always have the walkways down either side of it as a pretty standard fare, and then they normally give you 1 or 2 tunnels through the middle. But putting all these side walkways in with stairwells that change your direction, it can be quite easy to get lost on this map, believe it or not, even though it's a small map. Just because there's so many nooks and crannies, stairwells and doorways, you've got to make sure you cover every point when you enter a room, or you will be in for a shock. And your kill-death ratio, if you care about that, will not go too well. I looked down that funnel there just to see if that led to a room below, because I thought it would be quite interesting if you could throw grenades down it and bounce it round to the lower corridors. Quite embarrassing to get killed by a ghost grenade, if you know what I mean. No pun intended. I really am sorry about that. So as I say, this is some of the centre areas of the map. You've got open spaces, but there's always the machinery in the way. Lots of different angles below and above. Brilliant again. IEDs in the corners. Cover the doorways. Work in pairs if you want to really get the best out of this map, because you're going to come out in areas like that where there's openings on either side. You're going to get picked off from somebody waiting for you. This centre control room, or engineering bay, it seems to be where I always ended up on the map, so that might be a little sort of conflict zone, if you know what I mean, when you get started. Going up to the higher levels, again you've got the control room here. I did check if you could get up those ladders. No, you can't. This control room will be a fantastic spot if you're going to cover either doorway, and I think there's an exit at the back of it, so be careful with that as well. I did check if that TV screen showed any monitors in the actual level itself, but no, it's not going to help you in any way. Some lovely scenery in the background there as well, which is always nice to see. But I think that pretty much rounds it up for this map. As I say, very thin, but there's a lot of little places that you can find. And I'm sure the pro players will find a lot of quick ways through this map. Now, you may recognise this. This is Unearthed, or as we all know it, Dome. It's been reimagined for this console. The bunker is now a sort of, well, it's a bunker, but it's a little bit more dilapidated, and you've got a couple of bit of additions there. I thought that might be a new section to the map, but it's not. It's blocked off. Fairly standard layout. You're always going to have firefights at this doorway, and yes, the camping spot there to the right and behind the digger, or it used to be the forklift truck, will be there for anybody who remembers it. Now the structures here, again, hoping that I could get up these structures, but I do go up and have a look for it, but there's no ladders there, unfortunately, to get into that area. So it is very much like Dome. There's not been that many additions to it at all, just a complete reskinning of the map. So taking a wander around this walkway, usually if you go up there, you're going to end up like a bullet sponge. You don't live very long up there. Another centrepiece to the map where a lot of people used to hide in the shadows in the original Dome map. You can see it's a lot lighter now, so it's going to be a lot easier to see you coming through. I thought I'd give this door a try, but again, no dice, just to check, you never know. Now the red shipping containers have gone. We now have these open sort of scientific containers. These locations are still exactly the same. I think there were power plants in Dome. You've now got your truck trailers there carrying equipment for excavation, and you have now got my favourite bit of the map. It always was my favourite, was this little room here where I would plant mines on the corners. And you used to get a lot of people camping in this corridor, but a nice addition to the map, which does really work well, is this lovely little addition of the tunnel here. Now this allows you to flank anybody in that corridor. It takes you out about halfway down, which is really nice. Now you've got the open room here, which is exactly the same as before. You can't get through any of the plastic wrap in there. Nice open room. Again, lots of glass. You're going to be highly visible here. Anybody who uses noob tubes or rockets or grenades, you're a very open target. Again, the grass here is a bit thinner. Used to get people lying down in that corner or behind the Humvees here, but now we've got trailers a little bit smaller, a little bit more open. A nice big excavator in the middle. No, you can't climb it. I have tried that as well. Good line of sight down to the camping spots. It just seems a little bit less cluttered than what was in Dome. I might be wrong about that, but I'm sure you guys can tell me. And then you've got your small area out the back here, which brings you back to your central location under the old radar dome, but it's now the fossil pit, I suppose you could call it. And just to finish the bit, is just to have a look round, just so you can see the rest of the map. Very small map, but a very, very good bit of fun. I hope you enjoy this, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the website up and watch some more videos. Thanks, guys.